the door. Oh, come on, let's tell it time to go. Oh, if there's one thing that I know.
My name is Fecteau. I teach here at Winthrop High School. I specifically teach earth science and physics, and I've been teaching here for 12 years now. So as far as how long I've been teaching for actually 13 years, but I've been teaching here at Winthrop High School for 12 years. So when I first started teaching right out of college, I actually taught at a middle school, Troy Howard Middle School over in Belfast, Maine. And so that was like my first year of teaching 8th graders project-based inquiry science, and it was very demanding. Middle school is very energetic, but with a teacher right out of college, it was right up my alley. So that was my first, I guess you could say, assignment of teaching. Right out of the gate, when I was in high school myself, to give a little backstory, I guess we could say, right out of the gate when I was in let's start young. I was in special education for the longest time, all the way up into a freshman in high school. More or less, I come freshman year of high school, I actually tested out of special education, and I'll never forget this. During my exit, my exit meeting from the special education department, they always told me that, quote unquote, that I would always be a C+ student, and I would never make it to college. I kind of took it and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this for them. I'm going to do it more or less prove for myself to get to that point. So, then I didn't understand that I wanted to be a teacher, but I definitely wanted to go to college. I didn't know what for. And it wasn't until my senior year where I really took a nosedive into the arts, and my art teacher really inspired me to, possibly pursue a profession in education. I struggled through school the way that I learned. I'm sure other kids learn that way as well. So I wanted to do it not just for myself, but I wanted to do it for my future students that, maybe they don't learn by reading a book. Maybe they learn best through acting, or maybe they learn best through expression of a picture of some sort, or, I want to try and unlock those kids that are typically overlooked. So that was kind of like my mission and why I wanted to become a teacher. And no, high school, I taught middle school for 1 year. Was it fun? Yeah, it was fun. But there was a lot of moving parts to middle schoolers. I don't know if I could teach middle schoolers now with the different energy and emotions that they go through. But high schoolers it's pretty unique. And what I like about it is I teach all the freshmen that come to the school, all of them. And then three years later, I might have those same students again, and you can see the actual growth, from freshman year to junior, senior year. I'm like, it's cool to see those students again. They're a little bit more closed off, seniors and juniors, but as freshmen, it's cool to just see new faces coming to the school. I would say the most enjoyable part for me as a teacher is it happens. You'd like it to happen more often than not, but seeing that light bulb moment in a student's eyes, or just that aha moment, when you have that and then they take that idea and apply it to something outside of what you're talking about, that skill set, that's it's like a win for a teacher. It's that hey, pat on the back, you did a good job type of thing, that I enjoy seeing with my students. The relationships that I make with my students too, those are always fun and engaging. As far as what I enjoy most, it's seeing smiles on my students' faces, whether it doesn't have to be in my class, but just around the school, but also the fact that when my students get that light bulb moment, that's the most rewarding thing for me. It's not a price tag. You can't put a price on that aha moment. So I would say about my perspective on like why I wanted to become a teacher, and in summary, I would say like it's definitely it's been a perfect fit. No day's the same as far as teaching goes, and on top of that, I get to talk about a topic that I'm very passionate about, and as that's the biggest thing. As long as you're passionate about what you're doing, then it just makes that job easy. And if someone's looking to get into education or even secondary education, so I would say that my biggest piece of advice for someone getting into education is you're not getting into it for the paycheck. You're getting into it because the pure enjoyment of teaching, or the passion of the subject. It's a very rewarding type of profession where you are rewarded daily, but you have to recognize those rewards. You don't look at the paycheck, you look at what you accomplished that day and where your students are going. I look at my students and my former students as my victories. So, how do you measure success? That's how I measure success, is who have I impacted and where have they gone? Have they done a positive impact on this world? Perfect. That's my success. I don't measure my success based on a paycheck. So.